And now we're going to make my birthday supper. One of our favorites. Hamburger and mushroom gravy over mashed potatoes with green beans. It doesn't have to be fancy to be an awesome birthday supper. Okay, folks, I'm keeping this really simple. I'm not even getting into the mixer. I'm going to just make a basic chocolate chip cake. We have 1/3 of a cup of butter here. No, not 1/3 of a cup, excuse me, 1/2 a cup. And we're going to cream that together with 3/4 of a cup of sugar. People ask me why I don't put vanilla in my chocolate cake, because it's a chocolate cake, not a vanilla cake. So I'm going to try and cream. This butter's a little hard. It's chilly today. Butter. 2 eggs. See, you know how we used to bring me home a cake? Sometimes it would be a McCain's Deep and Delicious cake, but I found as time has passed, my stomach doesn't like a lot of store-bought stuff, and it has to be the ingredients. This is one of the easiest things to do. Now, I'm going to take 1 cup of flour, teaspoon of baking powder, and about 1/4 cup of cocoa. I am just winging this today, folks. And I'm going to start sifting this. Another 3/4 of a cup, 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup of flour handy. And I'm not going to sift it all in. I am going to start to mix it, alternating with milk. I am not measuring the milk, folks. It's approximately 1/2 to 3/4 of a cup of milk. And then it's the last of our flour. And you just put enough flour in and milk until you get the consistency of cake batter. But you alternate it with the milk so it doesn't go lumpy. Our oven is preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're going to sift the last of our flour and our cocoa and our baking powder down in here. Sometimes it's easier just to push it through. There we go. We are not frosting people. I make a nice rich cake. A little bit more milk. And there's our oven telling us it's time. I'm just going to, this is a 9x9 pan, I'd say, or a 10x10 pan, and I'm going to put 1/2 of the batter in the bottom. Now, I like semi-sweet, pure semi-sweet chocolate chips. And I'm going to put some of them right in the center of this cake. Sometimes I just decorate the top, but we want, this is a birthday cake, so we're going to make it just a little bit more decadent. Whoops. Don't want that down in behind the parchment there. And I'm going to put in 1/2 a cup of chocolate chips. And then I'm going to pour this right down over top. All right. Now I'm going to take another 1/2 cup of pure semi-sweet chocolate chips. This is going to come out more like a brownie cake, folks. Just like that. What to make sure that every section of this cake gets chocolate. And this is what we call a decadent chocolate chip cake. This is going into the oven for 350 degree oven for 35 to 45 minutes, or until a skewer or fork or toothpick is inserted and comes out clean. So here's the ingredients of our pantry pull supper. Instant mashed potatoes. Yes, it's a Folger can, but that's the best thing to keep them in the fridge with. So instant mashed potatoes, onions, lean ground beef, mushrooms, and green beans. Let's get started. First off, pour jars always pops. We're going to put our beans into the pot here. Put them on low, because they don't have to cook. They're already cooked. They just have to be heated through. I'm going to put a bit of butter in this frying pan here. You can do bacon grease. You can do whatever you want. I should have actually done bacon. Right. In goes our, I don't know, half to 3/4 of a pound of ground beef. And we're just going to start breaking this apart to the best of our ability. Throw in our onions. Pepper. Garlic powder. And you don't have to do this, but instead of salt, I add a little bit of soy sauce because it adds color and flavor to the gravy. You don't have to do that. I don't know what good it does. It just makes me feel better, I guess. And there we go. Now, we're just going to put a lid on this and turn it right down to low, and we're going to let it simmer till Howard gets home, and then I'm going to put the gravy together and make the instant mashed potatoes. Okay, the timer has gone off on our cake, and I've just, if you need to know what I'm talking about, I'm just into the center of the cake, really sharp knife. That's a chocolate chip, but that came out, let me see. Look at that beautiful decadent chocolate chip cake. All right, and we're gonna have that with whipped cream after supper. It's just been covered now, and it's just keeping the moisture in until Howie gets home. Whoops, sorry about the steam, folks. When Howie gets home, I will add our thickener, and we'll have supper, because I'll make the instant mashed potatoes. Okay, Howard's home. I'm gonna put the kettle on for our instant mashed potatoes. All righty. This is one of our favorite suppers. I am just going to take some flour now and scatter that over top. And we're just going to start making a mess, obviously. We're going to get this nice and uber thick. There we go. We want to cook that flour into those juices. And then we're going to add a little bit of our bean water. Just like that. Remember, take advantage of the nutrients in your canned goods. You can save your vegetable water in a jug in the fridge until you've got enough to make broth or soup. There we go. And there is our mushroom hamburger gravy. We can shut that off now, because cast iron holds its heat, so it's going to continue to cook. Continue to stir this. You don't want it sticking to the bottom of the pan. And if it continues to thicken, you just add more bean water. So you want it juicy enough to run down the sides of the mashed potatoes, eh, Papa? So, we're going to put some... Yeah, I'm cutting corners. You know why, folks? Because it's my birthday. And besides, my kind of cutting corners is even healthier than most people. Ours is 100% potato flakes, but it is instant, so there we go. Get the boiling water from the kettle in there, and a hunk of butter. A little bit more boiling water. I don't eat a lot of these potatoes. I'm not a huge potato eater. And we're going to steal some of Papa's half and half cream just a little bit because I notice he's almost out. And a little bit of milk. And give this a good whip. And yeah, take the whisk out because it's getting clogged. Huh? Okay, because I'm going to have a shower. So I'll serve you up and then, okay. Well, your dinner is just, you might as well just sit there because it's ready. We're just going to take some of this hot hamburger gravy. Oh, look at that. Look at that. And we're just going to put some green beans there. I made a cake, Daddy.
Awesome.
Chocolate chip. All right, let's take this over to Father and see what he has to say. What's that?
That's your birthday.
Oh, oh.
All I could afford.
Honey, you got me popcorn yesterday.
Yeah, and a sweet.
Oh, thank you, darling. And of course, I will share. This is obviously mushroom hamburger gravy over mashed potatoes and green beans.
My favorite.
Daddy's doing the happy dance with his butt.
My favorite on your birthday.
Well, it's one of my favorites, too. Always has been.
Awesome.
Thank you, darling.
Our green beans?
Of course.
Of course.
Of course they're our green beans. I'm putting in 2 extra beds of beans this year because I overcrowded them. Thank you, honey.
Thank you. Happy birthday, darling.
Thank you, darling. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead saying this is the best 60th birthday I've ever had. Mwah! Take care. God bless.